Well, that went from being a pretty boring episode to a very interesting tribal in a real hurry. That wasn't a great episode up until the second tribal council, and then it got absolutely wild at the end there. Plans were changed, the vote done public, and then somebody getting the opportunity to decide to use a power afterwards. Ridiculous. And I was, yeah, we'll go through the episode quickly, but probably going to spend most of the time talking about tribal council. So High seemed to be out for vengeance on Romeo after Romeo threw a rogue vote in his direction. They were already on bad terms, but the vote from last week very much bothered High, which is going to be important later on. Rocksroy trying to organize a guys' alliance. Omar and High not buying it that High or Rocksroy suddenly wants this guy alliance, and they both very well know that they're not sitting on the top rung in that alliance. So sure, they nod and say, oh yeah, that's a great idea, but they really don't want anything to do with it. So we get to our immunity. Turns out 2 immunities are up for grabs, and the tribe is split into 2 groups, which will each be going to tribal separate. The first thing I thought when they put those teams together was who picked these teams? How did the teams end up like this? We end up with 5 guys on the one team, and then the 4 women and Jonathan on the other. Just like maybe it was random, but sure didn't feel that way when you first looked at those teams. Like it looked like, things are extremely stacked against Romeo and things are extremely stacked against Jonathan. But somehow neither of those 2 end up going home this episode. Very much for Jonathan's side, felt like he had to win immunity in order to stay safe this week. And for his sake, he was lucky because it very, very much did come down to that, as Jonathan wins immunity and food for his new team, and on the other side, High wins immunity. But no, don't need to dilly-dally on that too long. That immunity challenge was started and over in a real hurry. I think the explanation of the challenge was longer than the actual challenge. The 5 guys tribe, they seem to immediately be targeting Romeo, but very easily it seemed like they could have flipped onto Rocksroy, with High being the crucial vote. In the end, Rocksroy gets voted out. A little bit of a blindside on him, but I don't think that anybody really wanted to work with him. When people, especially like Mike, get swayed that easily, like it shows you that the loyalty just wasn't there to Rocksroy to begin with. I know there's no loyalty towards Romeo either, and probably for the guys' game, it would have been better. They would have been better off voting out Romeo, but they took the opportunity to go after Rocksroy and took him out. Another move that was really influenced by Omer, and he's playing, in my opinion, a very, very good game so far, and might be my favorite player so far this season. All right, now let's move on to the other tribe. Jonathan, he's got immunity, and he's decided that he wants to flush out Drea's idol. Marianne and Lindsay both really are just not buying what Jonathan is selling anymore. They're kind of going along with his plan, but ultimately, they're kind of getting fed up with him, and understandable. We're getting down to, after this episode, 8 people left in the game. and things are going to swing and move very, very quickly from here on. And you know, Jonathan misplaying his social game a little bit this week probably means that he is not long for this game. Lindsay, you know, she kind of called out the holes in Jonathan's plan again, because he was kind of like, oh yeah, let's go after Drea, but let's also tell Drea that we're going to target Mary. But heading into Tribal, it kind of seemed like there was a rough plan to most likely split votes between Drea and Tori, in a hopes that either Drea plays her idol and Tori goes home, or Drea doesn't play her idol and gets sent home. But that is not how things went down at Tribal. The second tribe walked in, saw that Rocksroy had been voted out, so the jury is now Chanel and Rocksroy, and Marianne and Drea were not happy. That was 4 black players in the game, and 2 of them sitting on Tribal, with most likely a third headed to Tribal right away. They, especially Drea, was really torn up and basically immediately said, I'm playing my idol. Marianne shortly after said, I'm playing my idol too. And what a wild turn for that entire tribal, you know, because of what happened in the other tribe and an unexpected person going to the block. And doesn't matter that Rocksroy never played a good game. It doesn't matter that Chanel never played a good game. Drea and Marianne did not like the sight of 2 black players sitting on the jury, and they did something about it. So first off, props to Drea and Marianne for taking their game into their hands and making a big and powerful move. You know, 2 idols got flushed out, but I think that Drea and Marianne gained a lot more out of this in terms of their social games and where they stand within the tribes, or within Kula Kula, moving forward. You know, they might have lost that layer of protection, but both of them have other powers in their back pocket. So as we said, the 2 idols got played, and then for whatever reason, Jeff suggests that they just vote publicly. Like, you know, it's just between Lindsay and Tori. You're just voting one or the other, and they kind of go around and everybody says like, yep, we're voting for Tori, and that's it. But no, then Tori says, I'd like to play my shot in the dark, which in my opinion never should have been allowed. Like, it didn't end up doing anything. You know, she got the not safe, but the vote was done. The vote was over. And then Tori got to play a power. That's not the way it works. Like, we decided who was going home. You can't get voted out and then say, well, actually, I'm going to play my idol. Well, actually, I'll use my steal a vote to get an extra vote. You can't do that, which was just ridiculous. I understand that Jeff was trying to promote like a unique moment and a unique situation, but definitely could have got totally blown up by Tori playing her shot in the dark. And then what would have happened if Tori played her shot in the dark and it comes up safe, and then Lindsay goes, well, you know what, I'm going to play mine too. Like, what happens in that scenario? Got a whining dog here, so I'm going to end this video right here. As always, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and until next week, we will see you later.